we have some folks here to do a levy update. Mrs. Beckmeyer, are you going to go first? I'm not sure how you guys are arranged to do this. Dave Sauter and
Hi, I'm Susie Beckmeyer, and I'm here to represent a group of parents who have formed to work in support of the schools in Middletown. The group's name is PRIDE, and that's an acronym, and it stands for Parents Respond in Defense of Education. And this group has come about sort of as either a splinter or possibly you could call it a grassroots effort to just put education at the forefront of this debate. We feel very committed to continuing to stand up and to be vocal and to be a presence in the community at any opportunity that we can to speak in defense of education and the importance of that for all the children in the community. In terms of our values or the reasons that we think that this is important and that we continue to be visible, we've also used the PRIDE acronym again and have decided that we will respond in a positive manner. We want to engage in a positive debate. We want to focus on the positive aspects of these issues and to focus on education and the importance of that. This is not a debate for us that is about school board members or personnel or anything. This is about education and the importance for our children. For the R in PRIDE, our word is responsibility. We believe that it is our responsibility as parents to help secure a bright educational future for our children. And so we're inviting all parents to join us and to not sit back and let someone else take care of it, to get involved. The I is integrity. As a group, we are committed to behaving with integrity to present information that is factual, accurate, and clear to the best of our ability. The D is determination. We are determined to do whatever it takes to accomplish our goal. And the E is for excellence, because it's what the children of this community deserve. We have been involved in the last week or so in helping to further efforts in registering voters, working together with the Invest in Tomorrow group. In voter registration, we had a presence at the homecoming events. We are planning to be involved at the next Middies football game, which is on the 19th, again as a presence to keep that in front of the community. On November the 1st, we are planning an event called Line the Streets with Pride. There'll be more information about that, but we're hoping to get 5,000 people to come out that evening to line the streets in a glow stick vigil, if you will, rather than candlelight. To, again, bring people out, to make a stand, to let people know that education is important to the parents in this community, and all of our futures rest on this. And then on November 4th, we're planning a prayer vigil for anyone who is interested in support of the levy preparation for that. I brought a couple other flyers that list those events. I would invite anyone who is interested to be involved in that to contact me. I can be reached at 425-9568. Susie Beckmeyer, happy to talk with you about it.
If they didn't remember that number, they could probably also call our number, Ms. Alberico, and you can forward on the names. Mrs. Beckmeyer, would you mind repeating that number one more time?
Sure. 425-9568.
Thank you.
Have any questions?
No, we just appreciate all the help we can get. I know I had my first PTO meeting today, and there are still a lot of questions out there about, what does the $5.5 million mean, and if we pass both levies, what will be reinstated and how fast. We are working. We had our first meeting on Friday to develop a community survey, which is going to be done by Miami in partnership with our business community to engage the community in what it is they want to see in the education of our students here in Middletown. So hopefully we've got a short time frame, but we are trying to get as much input as we can. We hope that come November, both levies pass, and we're not going to be faced with what do we have to cut and what don't we have to cut. But clearly, I think the community is asking some of the questions about what it is, what happens if only one passes and the other fails. But again, we need people like you to help us get our word out, get our message out, support our schools, and more importantly, support our kids. So we appreciate your efforts here.
That's a perfect segue into Dave Sauter.
Susie, I have one more question, and thank you for being here. This is for parents of children of any age in the school?
Yes. Our hope is to have representatives from every school building.
Kind of a liaison with the coordinating group to spread the word about meeting times?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We think that the more avenues that we have for disseminating accurate information, the better. You know, so many things are driven by rumor, and it's just astounding how much misinformation can still be out there when it feels like we've talked about these issues, but yet people don't have the correct information about what's impacted dollar-wise, what the limitations are in terms of what expenses are optional and what aren't.
Thank you.
Good evening. Thanks for a few minutes of time as well. I'm Dave Sauter. By day, I'm the University Registrar at Miami University, so I fully embrace, and as does our family, the whole K through past post-secondary education. So I'm happy to speak tonight. Actually, on behalf of the Invest in Tomorrow Committee, I have three main segments here. First is just to talk a little bit about I am actually the treasurer for the group. Sam Mengi is the chair, and he had to have a work commitment tonight. We are running on a balance now about $1,000, so it's a grassroots campaign. We're hoping for some funding along the way, but we've been trying to see what the power of just foot power and people can make rather than a lot of dollars. The funding initiatives that are going on right now, several of the committee members are actually going into some of the past accounts, past individuals, and just seeing where there's been some giving before and how we might be able to approach them as well, both individuals and corporations in town. Again, we've been trying to keep that need for cash outlay very, very minimal, do more flyers and things that we can get into all the citizens' hands. There's some potential for some magnetic signs that are a little fundraiser by the Pride Committee. If you see them around, it's the M, big committee's M, coupled with the Pride on the bottom. That's the logo, just Pride. Part two would be just to share with you some overall goals of that particular group. You've heard a lot about voter registration. I think the number last time was perhaps 30% of eligible voters voted. So the campaign's going on, board leaders, community leaders attending events, as you just heard as well. Miami University, Middletown student government held their voter registration campaign and got 100 new voters registered just in this past week, which is really incredible. We think there's about 300 new voters between various other initiatives. So it's get out and vote, which is really the other message. Get out and vote November 6th, so that when these levies come up, it's not just that small group voting. There are FAQs that are being developed. Actually, several of us are going to 3 meetings tonight. It's this, and then the Pride meeting, and then at 8 o'clock the AAUW, just to get the word out for what these issues are and those messages. Lots of work with the Pride group. That's a pretty impressive group coming together, just try and work for those students. Some other initiatives. The absentee ballot will follow the voter registration piece, the outreach to various churches and community centers in town, letters to the editor just to talk about how critical these things are, Speakers Bureau, and then some election day activities as well. But I thought I would share in a final part just a few comments that have been coming up as we've met in these subgroups, and six themes have really emerged. So with a little bit of me as Dave's citizen in here, just bear with me while I just talk about these 6. The first is that I think we need to view that rather than taxes, that these are really the cost of caring for our kids. That's what it is for our family. We've got to get that word out that this is what it costs to care for our school children. If it's $1 or $2 a week, that seems worth it. Number 2, without a larger voter turnout, there's our democracy not working like it should. And along with that, we just believe that without support for the schools, that's that's a very frightening future. Number 3, I've been just collecting newspaper articles over the last couple months, and these are just a sample of some things that have appeared in there. Butler County Community Health Consortium getting $700,000 to expand services for needy families. Abilities First is expanding daycare. Butler County Children's Services expanding intake and assessment to 24 hours a day. The state's giving $10 million a couple of years early to Butler Tech from the Ohio School Facilities Commission. District has to move 5 teachers to meet state requirements. So all of these things just point to initiatives that are occurring within our community, within our state, and sometimes we're wondering, who are we leaving out? And perhaps we're leaving out many of the children who just don't have needs on any particular end, but just need our support in general. Taxes, item 4, taxes pay for some but not all of schooling. We've had 3 children go through the system, and there's a base. I almost think like taxes pay the base, and then extracurriculars and other things, school fees pay the rest, and I think sometimes it's a little bit lost in that translation. 5th, if not you and I, who's going to support the cost of educating children? Someone supported me when I was going through. We have supported my children, and we will then gladly support others. And lastly, I think one of the things that's coming out of the meetings that we're having, it's the concern that perhaps it's not just a Save Our Schools campaign, but is it really Save Our Middletown campaign? So those are just some comments. I appreciate the time. We've got a 7 o'clock meeting, but if there's something in particular I can help with, that's Susie or I.
I just appreciate your efforts. I think you're right. It's more about the grassroots campaign than it is about the flyers or how much we can spend to publish those kinds of things. It's one person at a time.
That's right. Each one reach one.
David, I'll say again that the citizens don't wait to be asked. Ask what you can do to help, whether it's with financial support to help spread the word of the need and of the levies, and also, can they come to, are you still meeting Thursday nights at the headquarters at the town mall?
Yes.
And anybody's welcome to come learn how they can plug in?
Right, just to be there, and that group changes each Thursday night, so we get different dynamics. We're trying to get that web of interested citizens just out all over. Pride meetings are on Monday nights. Again, call Susie for the particulars for that. Every Thursday night is the Levy group itself, so 6:30.
And then I understand the headquarters will be open for
Yes.
the next few weeks?
Evenings, Saturday mornings. I think they're trying to staff that right as we speak. There were a couple nights where it may not be, but sort of a 4 to 7 window.
So anybody going to the town mall then can stop in and pick up some information and talk to people about the levy?
Especially those FAQs. It's we're just trying to get, as everyone has tried before, those salient bullets out there about here's what this really is. So I think what the group has done this time, even better than before, is listen to those questions that are coming in and turning it into an FAQ and then putting that on that document and getting that out. So
is it an opportunity as the Pride group and as the campaign committee talk to people for them to jot down notes if people have kind of their list of priorities? Is that another way to reach out and hear from the community about what they feel are important elements of a student's education in Middletown City Schools?
Absolutely.
I really encourage citizens to stop in at the mall out there, because many times it's easier to walk in casually and talk to another parent or another citizen, and these parents have done their homework. And they do know the factual information and can communicate it just as well as any of us. And so it's an opportunity in a more casual way, if you will, just to stop in and talk to people out there that are staffing.